Hello and welcome everyone back to the Battle of Old Farm lead card coverage here at Old Farm in Kentwood, Michigan. Happy to have you back here with us for this second round coverage. I'm Zach, and on the commentator's mic with me I have Chris. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Thanks again to all the sponsors that help make this great event happen every year. It's always awesome to come out to an amazing amateur event like this. Super fun structure. It's really fun to be here. Taking a look at the round one standings, we have the same card except we have now Chad in the lead by one stroke over Dan here. Everyone else kind of a few strokes underneath that. It looks like a kind of a three-man race here. Closest. We starting off with Chad here on the lead card here. Not sure what to do with his hands, but he's in first place, 10 down. He's sitting in a comfortable position.
And Dan, who was on fire at the back nine, he's going to join us and try to continue that streak he had going there.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be down by a stroke very long if he continues to putt like that. We got John Lightning here at 7 down. He's a little farther back, but still well within striking distance, especially a course like this.
And then there's me. I'm going to try to recopy what I did the first front nine last round and then improve the second nine.
Yeah, try to carry that over. Here we have hole 1, 216 feet, OB on the sidewalk and over on the right side there, trying to throw a hyzer. And the wind kind of picks up this back 18.
Yeah, definitely you'll see the trees moving a little bit more.
Definitely something you gotta, just keep in your head and be aware of. We've had Chad on the channel before. If you ever watched our first tournament coverage ever at the Kalamazoo Open back in 2019, he was on that feature card event.
We call him Mr. JC because that guy can play JC Park like no other.
Oh, I have to. And apparently he plays Old Farm pretty well too.
He's showing me that.
As he's up there for a putt, maybe a bit of a tester with the hill. It looks like Chad kind of landing in that same place there on the left there. And even though those are within circle, that little uphill with the wind definitely makes that putt a little more complicated.
Yeah, you think about it a little harder because you're going uphill and the hill right behind it is a little steeper, so right. You want to watch yourself there. And John, of course, puts it right on the mound.
John has this hole's number. He knows how to play it.
I kept mine a little lower this time, a little bit happier. It's what was in the game plan originally. Just slide up there to the mound and take the putt.
Yeah. And you can see the wind just really ripping here, and yeah, that's the wind.
Right, and he tried to float one in there, and you saw the disc just kind of hang up there in the air.
See if Dan can keep it going, and ooh,
bang! There it is, just over the top.
That makes it 8 birdies in a row for Dan. He is just on fire, and you get a bit of a pickup there.
Yeah, like I said, that top band is my friend, or not.
Yeah, got a tailwind there. It picked it up a little bit. John making sure he asked you to wait just a second to clear that out. He had the trampoline angle ready to go.
Right, but John's old school. He likes the discs clear discs to keep them out of people's way, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. Hole 2 here, 185 feet. I like the inside gap better than the outside gap. Last round we saw a lot of outside gaps. See if this corrects here, but you're trying to just aim for that hill where that player in the red is. Try to use it to keep you next to the basket. Trying to avoid the early trees that are next to the bridge.
I'm interested to see how Chad throws this hole. It's my first time actually shooting on a card with Chad, although I've known him for a couple years now. Dan going right to the backside. And
yeah, that's a putt.
A better result than the tree he had last time.
That's right. Dan looked like he took the inside gap a little bit better that time. Looks like John's doing the same thing, and he actually goes a little too early, hits an early tree. He's going to have a long putt from there. Looks like he's got a...
Goes high to the inside route, and he's banking on coming down that hill, because a lot of times you will. This time he happens to get stuck up there.
Just a little too high, I think, than what he wanted, and got caught up in an extra root. Looks like you're going inside gap, too.
This round, I did go inside route because I needed to score. And the outside route is really dangerous. Easier to get an ace from the outside route, in my opinion, but easier to score from the inside.
John locking himself back into that putt. He was struggling a little bit on that round 1 back 9 coverage. Couldn't quite make the putts he did, but it looks like he's locked himself back in between rounds there. As Chad had that tree just in his way, got a little too aggressive, and he's going to have to tap in his 3 from here.
Yep, and then
He's still waiting on Dan.
Yeah.
Who has AVRs to putt with and to throw with. He likes that blue classic AVR. Just really straight putter. Doesn't have to like really try to get it to go flat. It just goes that way. It really depends on that disc.
And with that shot, Dan takes the lead.
Yeah, it takes it right off the get-go. He's already gotten himself going. Hole 3 now, 107 feet. Struggled on this hole a little bit on the last card as you guys hit that Mando tree on the left. You're really just trying to get through it. Guys that have the power will just kind of throw a jump putt through there, but really just trying to pump it through the Mando just like this. And
Dan corrects from the first round and puts it inside 20.
Looks like he's going to get his 10th in a row.
That's what he's looking at, yeah. John also corrects from the first round.
Regardless, he did have an incredible save from the drop zone in round 1, but this time he's looking to take maybe a birdie from.
Yeah, he wants that birdie. He knows that it should happen on this hole.
A little wider, but that tree kind of backstopped you. You're still within range there.
Yep, I changed from my caltrop to my swan, hoping to get a little softer landing on them roots, and I threw it a little too hard.
Chad did a nice job of hitting the gap, but unfortunately that one tree that you have to beat knocked him down as it hyzered a little too early. So he's going to have this big tester, and it didn't quite stay on line.
Yep.
Now Dan's really looking to push, kind of challenge Chad here, as he is now 3 for 3. This is the perfect start.
Yep, he's definitely picked up where he left off last round.
Chad here.
Chad saves his power, looking to get on track here.
Chad needs to make a move now before the rest of that card gets away, because starting off with a stroke lead on Dan and 3 strokes on John, he's already allowed John to tie up with him, and Dan has a 2-stroke lead. Chad's really going to need to put it in gear here, as you also have hit 2 of your first birdies. You're still within the hunt here.
I'm a little disappointed missing that first putt, but I let myself calm down and not worry about it. And I know all these holes are birdieable. I've birdied every hole out here, so I just got to play my game.
Hole 434 feet. You're just trying to get to the outside of that tree. You're next to the basket there on the right side to give yourself a putt, or you can try to cut on the inside there. Looks like Dan's throwing something really soft, and I don't think that's what his game plan was for that hole.
No, he was hoping for the slide a little bit more. He wanted to land a little deeper and just slide to behind the big tree, because once he saw that John got back there and had a nice open look at it, he was wanting to try to slide up there himself.
Try to repeat from last round, just not quite the action that he wanted. Maybe he threw it a little softer too with that wind. You got a big skip here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And that's the skip I like to get, but I like to be about 40 feet farther in front.
Yeah. Looks like Chad's just trying to go that wide outside. And that tree is surprisingly wide. He may be obstructed.
That tree is, if you get really close to it, it's hard to get around it.
And Dan just a little too far, and there's several trees directly in front of him. Just didn't have a clean run at that. He's going to have to take his first par.
Okay.
You just off there. Chad here is having to stretch out a little bit, and he's going to...
Thankfully, he was close enough to the tree that he was able to step out. If he'd have been 3 feet farther back, that'd have been a lot harder putt.
Yeah, this is cleans up. He gets his first birdie as Dan taps in his first par. John's going to clean up. Still on track for that perfect round as he's 4 for 4.
Yeah, John wasn't happy with his putting in the second 9 last round, and we talked in between rounds, and he said, you know what? I need to come back on a few strokes, so I'm just going to go out there and start banging them.
Yeah.
And true to his word.
There he goes. Hole 5 now, 180 feet. Again, you can take that inside gap where the drone just went, something real flat, maybe turned over a little bit, or you can go in the left gap and turn something over really big. No OB on the left side there, but definitely something that can leave you in some trouble if you end up going too far right. And Dan went super inside and gets a kind of a lucky break there. Beats a lot of stuff. Is still up there in circle. Chad trying to take that Firebird forehand route and left it a little too far left. Got a little outside kick there. Put him in the fairway.
Dan does the turnover. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, this is looking ideal.
That's great. That's nice soft landing.
That's the advantage of using a putter for that particular shot. It just doesn't have the edge for that ground action. And you trying to throw a turnover there, just left it a little too inside, hit that tree.
Yep.
Leaves you in some bit of a trouble here. And you had to fight through several branches there with your arm.
I tested it beforehand to make sure there was no thorns on it.
Don't want to go home with those kind of scratches on you.
No.
Chad with another real crazy wind, just pitching it up there, giving it maybe a half run.
Half go, yeah. Something safe.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm happy about that par considering where I was at.
Yeah. Definitely a tricky spot. Good save from you. And John is...
Fire.
Yeah, John is just doing John things.
Dan's doing enough to keep just ahead of him.
Yep. Doing a really solid run there.
Now Chad's thinking he needs to start picking things up a little bit.
Yeah, Chad, I'm curious to what his mental state is at this point, knowing that he gave up the lead so quickly, and what his plan is to try to get himself back in the rhythm here as we head into hole 6, which is arguably one of the hardest hole in the course.
Probably would score as the hardest hole in the course.
Just really difficult to get there in one shot. Probably the fewest birdies. Last round, you and John both did a nice job of birdieing it, but we'll see what you guys can do here. John with a really good angle and can't quite beat that first tree.
Yeah, he hit that root and it flattened his skip out so it didn't go sideways enough.
Dan put this on a lot more angle than he did last time, but he also put a little more power to it. Goes around the deep side of that tree, hits a smaller one, so he's going to be short as well. And this is too flat. And you have to be careful too, because if you skip too far forward, you can go past that road.
Right, which he's in eight's fairway right now. So
luckily he didn't get quite that far. He'll be still safe. And this is looking good.
Man,
oh no!
Right, I thought I repeated my shot from the first round, and well, little guardian tree got me there.
Yeah, you can see where your disc is. You literally landed in that root system. John here got messed up a little bit. The card in front of us, one of the tree kicks put him into our fairway, and right as he was putting, he started walking into the fairway, kind of messed him up a little bit there, but luckily he's still going to stay close enough. He should just have a tap in from there.
Yep.
Chad making a run at this, not just a touch too short there, but a good line from him. And then here's you from 40, 50 feet. Just a little bit low.
Yeah,
basket.
I literally didn't make a huge run at it because I know that hill back there, and I know how I can get a little over excited sometimes when I'm putting. So I kind of threw it at the ground.
So let that scoot up. Take an easy 3 here. And 3 here is definitely nothing to be too concerned about.
No, 3 is a good score here. Birdies are definitely bonus on this hole.
Couple pars here. Still a tight race there in that first place. You're still just a little bit behind, but still anyone's game here as we head into hole 7. 271 feet. Mando on the left there, trying to get it out into this open space with enough stability in the disc or enough good angle on it where it's going to still come back to the left of this the pickleball court there and come into this landing zone. OB on the left technically with the road there, but if you're really throwing a disc with that much speed, when it gets over there, it's the incorrect disc.
Correct. John a little low.
And he literally, that tree that he just skimmed by, that was the Mando tree.
That was the Mando tree.
he made the Mando, and that's the first and very important step. Dan here does a much better correction from round 1, which wasn't even a bad shot, as he put himself left and makes the correction, puts himself parked.
He figured that hole out after the first round for sure.
And now Chad's really got to know that this is crunch time. He's got to put something out there and save this, and I thought that had a chance.
Oh my god, I thought he was going to skip in.
I thought he had the ace off of it.
Off the tee, we were all like, man, that was great, because on this hole, you can really tell if you got a good shot going on. I liked my shot here.
Yeah, this is a good, clean, safe shot. Put yourself right at circle's edge. John here, even though he is on the left side, he did make the Mando first, so he's just kind of throwing a putt up there. I don't think he really was expecting to make it, because that tree that was hanging over to the left was actually covering the entire basket from his perspective. You chain out right side there?
Yeah, I actually had pro side. I just let it go slightly too late.
He's still within tap-in range there. Chad here. And that's a good birdie from Chad to make
Yep.
sure he stays at least within a stroke of Dan, who I don't think will mess up the 5-footer.
Right, he's got to keep within striking distance. This course doesn't give a lot of chance for separation if you're playing well.
And Dan certainly is playing well right now, as he's going to birdie the 5th out of 7 holes, as well as John, actually, who's going to also do the same thing. John just blazing through those first 5, and honestly, he's parring 2 holes that I would consider are some of the harder holes in the course. So John's honestly on pace to shoot still really, really well here, headed into hole 8. This is the hole the one that you really want to get. 208 feet. You just want to throw something dead straight. You don't want it to go to the right side. There's OB on the path and over it. And if you go too far to the left or go past the basket, you can find yourself some trouble. There's a bit of a drop off and a lot of foliage back there to deal with. Dan's hoping to not land on the road again like he did in round 1.
Yeah, he corrected on that this time.
Yeah, he's tugging it tight.
He made it tight, but he corrected. He just brought it inside a little bit, gives him a nice look at a birdie there.
And Dan doing a nice job, just putting the pressure on Chad, not taking the foot off the gas pedal. And Chad is kind of calmed his nerves down. He's hitting his lines now. He's giving himself chances. That's a little deep. That'll be a big putt from him, but we'll see what he can do from there. John also making the correction, putting himself a little farther right, and tink.
Tink.
Always a good sound to hear from the tee pad.
I love that sound.
You can see a bit of a headwind coming right at you. Your clothes are ripping. That just didn't quite get up in the air.
That's the key. Forgot to lift it. I don't know if it was like the wind getting in my head, because I like to turn discs over when I got a wind whipping right at me. Oh,
Chad just a little too low. And now Dan really with an opportunity to just kind of put it away here. And he also gets a little bit low. I think this wind, you can kind of see the leaves moving a little bit. That headwind on them just spooking. Headwinds for me are a little scarier than tailwinds.
Yeah.
Because I know tailwinds are probably going to knock the disc down, which means it won't go anywhere.
Yeah,
but headwinds, it might just pick it straight up. And I think they try to overcorrect it and not just trust their putters there. And
right. They were too worried about getting those up and
so Chad really fortunate there, walking away, not losing a stroke to Dan on that.
Right, staying within 2.
Yeah, Dan not quite fortunate enough to convert that one, but still got a 2-stroke lead heading into hole 9, 335 foot, par 3. OB again on the sidewalk over. There's that tree that kind of hangs over it. That's the one that kind of catches people and will put them in the OB. And the OB deep is really the one that a lot of people happen to. But it's really the first hole that you kind of open up a little bit on. John trying to flip something again. Doesn't quite give it the power it needs. He's going to be a little far left there.
Yeah, it's really unusual for that not to turn over for John. It's I would imagine there's some kind of tailwind going on there and not letting it turn over, or he just let it go early.
Oh, and Dan, you got a smile on his face, but you can tell it's a smile of just disbelief there, as he thought he beat the tree, but it hits the one farthest outreaching branch and knocked him straight down.
Chad does a little turnover shot, working back.
This has got to slow down. Doesn't.
Yeah.
That's a great line from him. Just 25 feet too much. He's going to put himself in OB, but luckily he gets to put it right next to the basket.
Right. The good thing is that OB gives you a very easy chance to save your par if you go straight behind it.
You trying to do another flip to flat. It didn't quite flip as much.
Yeah, I think there was a little tailwind there. It stabled the disc up a little much. I threw it a little higher than I wanted to, but
to go in. Oh, it looks so good from
good
John.
Out of the hand, right?
Yeah, he's gonna have an easy tap in, and that's gonna be fine, as he is just 1 stroke back from Dan, and Dan doing the same thing here, kind of laying up, maybe a half run there, but really that OB behind it, he can't afford to go there because that'd be an immediate bogey.
You're trying to float my disc. I did. That headwind, you can see my hair kind of blowing backwards. I knew that headwind, if I just let it float, it'll get there.
It got there, just didn't quite convert on that. Chad just cleaning up the par. Not the round that he's looking to have here, trying to keep that lead, but still within striking distance of everyone. See how that kind of pans out as we head into the back 9 here, as the other 2 guys are tapping in their pars, but John and Dan setting the pace here.
Yeah, definitely set the pace for the front 9 in this round.
Yeah.
Me and Chad set their 2 under. Not ideal, but I've had worse rounds out here, so.
Right, John's shooting at 12 down on the front nine alone between both rounds, so he's killing it. Dan makes some good corrections there, shoots 3 better from his previous round, takes the lead as well as John from Chad. We'll see how that kind of plays out in the back nine here. Thanks again to our sponsors, appreciate all your support, and we'll see you guys on the final conclusion back nine.